Demon Slayer, Episode 4 of the Hashira training arc, now out. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Episode 4 of the Hashira training arc is all about Tanjiro joining up with the Mist Hashira and going through that training exercise now after just completing Tengen's insane, grueling, stamina endurance sort of training that they did. Now, what I'm loving so far with what they're doing with the Hashira training arc is the stuff that they're adding to it. Last week's episode, the Tengen one, was actually one page adapted from the manga. It was like they added so much to that, and again they do it here as well. So we pick up where we left off last week's episode, where Tanjiro arrives at the Mist Hashira, watching him just beat down all the recruits in the Demon Slayer Corps. They're just getting absolutely destroyed. He's trying to teach them not to jump in recklessly, trying to teach them to be on their toes, be ready at all times, and he is just beating them down. And this is where you see the other Demon Slayer Corps members, where they're like to Tanjiro, can you talk to the Hashira for us, please? Can you tell him to just dial down the tone? Can you tell him to take it a little bit easier on us? Can you do that? Can you please do all that for us? And this is where Tanjiro is like, well, he's training us all by himself, so you gotta kind of take that into context and stuff like that. But then they also notice that the Mist Hashira leaves at night and goes to somewhere else. So you're already starting to see the development start to happen here. And then we get this really, really cool little segment where the Mist Hashira turns up to see the Serpent Hashira and the Wind Hashira actually training. Because you remember how they agreed that they were going to fight each other, and that's how they were going to train. So you have this beautiful moment where Sanemi is using his wind breathing, which looks freaking gorgeous. That green looks spectacular. Just the animation of it is unbelievably pleasing to the eyes. And then you have the Serpent Hashira using his serpent techniques as well as they clash. Looks fantastic. The Mist Hashira shows up and says, I want to join in. I want to have a bit of training with you guys as well. You know, I'm training these people, but I'm not getting anything out of it. They're getting more out of it than I am. I need to train with you guys. I need to fight with you guys. And this is where they both look at each other and they go, all right, 2v1 against you. Now, the Mist Hashira is the youngest Hashira. I think he's like 14, 15, around that age. Pretty much the same age almost as Tanjiro. But he comes from a bloodline that is very, very potent in potential when it comes to demon slaying. The breathing styles and everything like that. He has very high potential. So that's why when we see that Tengen explains, like, some people just pick up a sword and naturally get gifted. Like, he's only been a Hashira for 4 months. That's how long it took him to get there, because he's so gifted because of the bloodline. This is where you see just how skillful, how powerful, and how talented the Mist Hashira truly is when he goes 2v1 against them. And it's gorgeous. The animation for this fight sequence is spectacular. When he's using his mist breathing and, you know, just appearing behind them, it looks great. And then you have like the dust from them fighting and running around. The green, the purple, the blue, the different colors as they clash throughout, looking spectacular. Really, really, really enjoyed that moment with that whole fight. Then we go back to the training, and there's also a moment where the Mist Hashira shows Tanjiro about these swords and how his swordsmith is now living with them and doing all the swords at this place with the master, and expressing how he wishes the master would put his needs above everyone else before what he does. Because what he does is he puts everyone else's needs above his own instead of taking care of himself. We know that he is slowly dying here. So you have that little moment as well. You can see that the Hashiras really care for the master a lot, because they're willing to they want the master to think about himself rather than them. But the master's always putting them ahead of himself. And then you have the comedy side where the crow, the Mist Hashira's crow, is just insulting everyone. It's hilarious. But as we get back to the training, this is where the Mist Hashira starts to go, well, how about we use real swords now? So they get real swords, and there's a standoff. So he's standing off with one of the core members. The core member doesn't attack. And this is where he goes up to him and says, look, you didn't attack me blindly. I guess we're making progress. And then it jumps into Tanjiro getting into the training with him. And this is where the Mist Hashira, who absolutely loves Tanjiro now, absolutely loves him, he notices that he's faster, he's quicker, he's stronger, everything like that. And he tells him, you're done. You've mastered it. After 5 days, you've mastered everything that I have taught you, that I want you to learn. You are now ready to move on. This is where we get this beautiful moment where Tanjiro has asked the swordsmith of the Mist Hashira what is his hobby, and finds out about the paper aeroplanes because of the moment where he threw the paper aeroplane and sliced it with the sword, that he loves to make paper aeroplanes. So this is where Tanjiro comes up with an idea of challenging him to best, like, all Tanjiro has to do is win 1 out of 10, throwing the longest paper aeroplane, and then he must be a little bit more gentle towards everyone else. So you can already see the impact that Tanjiro has with all the Demon Slayer core members, and then even some of the Hashiras. Because Sanemi is really, really looking forward to fighting and testing Tanjiro now that he's got stronger. So you got that. But then you have them doing the paper aeroplane stuff. I really enjoyed that slice of life stuff. That to me was just great. It just gave you more light to who the Mist Hashira is. Because at the end of the day, he is a kid. He is a teenager. He is not a fully grown adult yet. He's just had to mature a lot quicker than everyone else because of his past and where he's grown up and how he's become who he is now. So I really like that, and I love how they all get into it. And then Tanjiro expresses about Nezuko and how, he feels like he can't take her because then he's just playing in Muzan's hands. Then Mist Hashira's like, Muzan might go in hiding. But then Tanjiro says, look, I am able to be positive and focused because that's what Tanjiro is. He brings positivity all the time. I'm able to do that because he has someone that he trusts looking after Nezuko. And this is where we get the shot of the first person who took him in and taught him water breathing, the old water Hashira, and he's there looking over Nezuko. So now we get into next week's episode, which is going to be the Love Hashira's episode, and I'm excited to see that because I love the Love Hashira. She's awesome, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. But I really enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying this slice of life stuff that they're adding to this, just giving us a little bit more context, seeing how positive Tanjiro is and the effect he's having on everyone else. I really like it, and like I said, this is always the calm before the big storm that's coming. But I really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe, and peace out.